What's going on, everybody? You know what time it is. It is part of the BRICKRUPTION. It's April. April showers bring May flowers. And we in the East Coast, we get a lot of showers. How
Yeah,
about that?
it's coming on strong here. I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey? We know how to drive through the trenches. Here in Maryland, not so much. Soon as it start raining, you hear the fire engines going on because somebody done splashed out somewhere. So when it rains, Maryland, just go ahead and park your car and call it a day because you can't drive.
Yeah. You know, if you from Jersey, you can drive anywhere. So you ain't got that problem when you're driving out there. But folks who live in Maryland, born in Maryland, yeah, just walk. Just, just
They
like
made a
Atlanta,
movie about it. New Jersey Drive, Jersey Drive.
Jersey drive. That's what we do. All right, man. Let's kick this thing off, man. Let's go with this first topic that we got here. This Lego survey. This Lego the survey. So, if you're not familiar with the whole what this topic is all about, I'm just gonna click this thing here. I want to bring this thing up because I
Hmm.
want to get this survey myself. Um,
Yep.
Now, the one thing about Lego is a big company. We all know that. And Lego, they tend to have information because they talk to each other. The designers talk to the executives and vice versa. But sometimes you need to hear from the people. And very important to a company that you get an idea of what the people would like to see from your company. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to make the changes necessarily, at least not right away, because some changes are a little bit impossible to make. Like for example, um, we would love to see Star Wars sets under $500. That's not gonna happen, right? Because I mean, the Star Wars is their best selling set. They got to make money, So certain sets are not gonna be that cheap.
$500. Star Wars. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, look how small that thing is.
It's a Star Wars set.
People want big sets. They want
Huh?
big sets. You know what I'm saying? And
Big
they
set.
don't
Okay.
spend $1,000 on a big set. So
Yeah.
you might want to get that information. But this came out. This came out a couple of. I guess it was like a week ago or so. Where Lego just wanted to hear from you. So I guess my question to you, my friend, how important is it for Lego to go through with some of the suggestions that are sent through the survey?
I think it's Corey, in business, it don't matter how much money you make and what you're projected to make either. But I think that by doing this, you give the number one stakeholder, which is the consumer, a say, right? You give them a seat at the table, right? Now, whether if your complaints or your appraisals, make it to the desk and they really observe it, that's another issue, right? But this gives you the keys to feel empowered. So at this point, without like me or you being there, the Lego land ambassadors, they can bypass us and go right to the consumer. Hey, what do you think? And here's the thing: when you feel this, and we'll put a link to this in the description of the video in YouTube, Instagram, not so much, but we'll link it up to YouTube. But um, when you fill this thing out, be honest. Talk about the sets that you bought. Talk about the sets that you tell Lego what you want. And you don't know. They might get your, and I'm not saying they will, but they it's a possibility your survey might hit the right desk and they're looking at it and they take an accountability of what you say. Now, enough of you say or talk about the same issues, eventually, something's going to happen. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, right?
Yeah, man. So look, this is what I'm seeing here. The Lego fan compass helping us navigate together. So
Hmm.
here's that word together. Remember back in the day, a couple of years ago, Lego was talking about inclusivity, right? They want to
Hmm.
be inclusive. They want to make sure that we are all on the same team, that we're all working together. That's what Lego was all about. So we're using those same words right now. It
Hmm.
says here that the survey is open until the end of this month, so the 30th of April. Takes about 10 minutes to complete. All right. Your privacy, this is totally anonymous. So you don't need to put your name or anything like that. They just want to hear from you. They want to hear your voice.
Hmm.
And basically what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to build a better way forward. I think Lego is doing that. I think what Lego is doing now is very important because they've been making some changes. A lot of the new designers that are coming on are people that were in the community. They were fans of the product. A lot of times they used to just kind of bring people that were already in Denmark, already in the European area. Now you're bringing people from across the world to work in Lego. You're setting up shop in different areas. With Bricklink, they acquired Bricklink. That gives them more voices. Granted, they've been doing some stuff that a lot of people don't like, but they got it. You got to make your voices heard. This is your way of doing it. Hey, Lego, we know you got you got your hands in Bricklink. How about you open up these markets that you closed up a couple months ago? That's something they may want to hear. Maybe that Black Panther say, hey, Lego, we would like more sets like this, but we need it to be a little bit more, affordable for us. How can we make this more affordable? Let's get that plant open up in America so some of these pieces could be a little bit, more affordable. So there's so much different things that you can do, and Lego has been making the strides to make those changes, but they do need your voice. So I encourage everyone who hears this to take that 10 minutes, carve it out your schedule, sit down, fill out that survey, man. Your voice can make a difference.
And shout out to Tips and Bricks, and that's the site I'm on right now. In the survey, it asks questions such as, which of the following best describes your current relationship with the Lego brand? Another one says, how would you describe the energy of Lego fan community right now? That's important. Be truthful about that. That's important. All right. When you look at the next generation of Lego fans, A falls of 2030, man, that's just right around the corner. It seems that seems like that's a date that's far away. That sounds like a future, right? But it's just 4 years, right? 2030. What part what part of the current community culture do you think that will have the most value and will they likely leave behind? This is if you have a blank check um, of time and resources to fix or evolve a specific part of a Lego hobby that isn't changed in a decade, what would that be and why? That's important. See, like those are very very important questions. See, it's probably a list that goes on, right? But yeah, like I definitely love see this question right here. It says, how would you describe the energy of the Lego fan community right now? That's you. If you're not having the best time, let them know. If you're having a great time and don't want to change anything, let them know. Let them know. I think that this survey is everything. And I hate to say like, oh yeah, but do your surveys. I don't push surveys. I don't, because I feel like every individual voice can have a platform for themselves. Your gripes aren't my gripes and my gripes aren't your gripes, so you need to take forward and you know who to email and who to call for your gripes. That's so I don't push surveys like that, but this survey is very important because this actually puts the consumer in the driver's seat.
And another thing, just to put a cap on this, Lego is making a lot of money. Lego is
Yeah.
very successful right now. The revenue is crazy at Lego. So technically, Lego if Lego wants to say, hey, listen, we don't need your input. We're doing good right now the way we're going. But the fact
Hmm.
that asking for your input tells you what they're looking at going down the line. They want to
Yeah.
make sure that Lego is becoming the toy of the future, not just the toy of the past and the present. There's a lot of competition that's coming up against Lego in the building area. They
It
may
is.
not be at Lego's level, but you never know where they can take it. So it's good that Lego is getting putting their foot before, or getting putting the horse before the carriage in a way, and
Yeah.
getting that information from the fans to become a better company.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. Man, I tell you, Lego's so global that it turned universal. So, in the news,
Hmm.
you you have four astronauts on their way to take a circle around the moon. Right? They're gonna fly by the dark side of the moon, and they're gonna come back home. So I'm watching the news. I usually like to watch the nightly news, right? But Your guy Tom Costello, who's a correspondent for the Nightly News, is on scene at the launch, right? And they're breaking everything down. And in front of him, he has the Lego Artemis 2 model in Lego, like it's Lego, and he's handling that thing like a pro. What do you know?
All right, so listen, man. So me and you, we've done, I think we've done TV, like news, like we've been in the news studio, we've met anchors and stuff like that, and them talking about Lego. So a lot of them, they just looking at it, they're like, oh, this is another part of my job. They just touching it. They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm holding like this. What am I, you know? So, but seeing this guy, I think deep down, I think he's an AFO. I think he collects them. Built. I think he probably built that. Probably built the set. So
yeah,
the way he was holding it, the way he was talking about it, breaking it down, even making the movements. Dude knows what he was doing. Now, granted, he might be a really good actor, might be a really good actor, but we've met a lot of people who work in the news industry, and I would say about a good 60-40, they actually play with Lego at home.
yeah.
They don't tell their co-host or whatever, but they go home and they play with some Lego. It's a stressful. So again, Lego is doing big things. What other toy brand is connected to such a monumental moment in our history? Going to the moon and back. It's awesome. So big shout out to Lego for getting on board and getting that done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was so easy to just like, like you're there at the NASA Center, and it's so easy to, either like purchase a regular like, Artemis 2 model of it, like a plastic model, like a toy without
Mhm.
the brick. But this right here, it's Lego front and center.
Oh yeah,
So,
I know
and
what he
your boy, another political correspondent, Jake Taper, he is an AFOL and Lego enthusiast as well.
Yeah, yeah. What he needs to do? He needs to, let me not, let's not get. If he likes Lego, that's good, man. Make sure he does that, but make sure what he talks about is fair and balanced, and he knows what I'm talking about. Jake Tapper, if you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. You need to write that book already. You know who you got to write that book about. You won't leave it there.
I didn't know the dude was following me, man. Like I didn't know, I was wondering, like, I'm like, man, why is this dude's feed is popping up? Like it's popping up all over my Instagram, my Lego Instagram. And to
Yeah,
come to find out that the dude is following like most of all the Lego masters, man. And so I had followed my man back. So I was like, that's big for me. Like I'm like, dang, going as Jake. I know Jake. I watch Jake every night.
wait a minute.
Like,
Let me go. All right, I'm gonna go and check afterwards, and if he following me, I'm gonna send him a message. Hey man, I'm gonna need you to tune in to Part of BRICKRUPTION. Listen to what I said. Need to see that thing soon. I did it.
you writing books, Corey? You writing books?
Yeah, I ain't writing no books, man, but I want to see some fair and balance. That's all I'm saying. All right, man. It's April. Like I said, April showers bring May flowers. But the 1st of April is a very dicey day.
Mm,
Friendships could be ended. Partnerships couldn't be forged.
true.
All that happens on one day.
Hmm.
Question is, have you been fooled long enough?
Yeah, I think I've been a fool long enough. The brick nerd
Mm,
recently posted posted some stuff about Lego Unlimited,
yeah,
and it had me going so much. It had me going so much where it was actually supposed to be a topic on this menu here today.
yeah,
Um,
there was.
we had to check and verify, and thank goodness, they came forth. Dave came forth and said, nah, that they do a April Fool's joke, every year, and this was part of that. And so I'm a little bit disappointed because when you start talking about unlimited, brick, like like for instance, folks, if you don't know, there's a pick a brick online that you can get, when you order parts, from Lego, right? And but the limit is to each one for per order is just under 1,000. You can't order over no more than 1,000. So it's 9.99, right? Um, and so here the Brick Nerd wrote an article about Lego Unlimited. They lifting these amounts of Lego that you can buy, and so that kind of opened up the floodgates. Say if you got a big project, right? You got a big project and you need thousands and thousands, instead of making multiple orders and waiting for them, you one order, one shot, bam.
That's it.
I was all in that, man. And I think I've been a fool long enough, Brick Nerd. And you had me, like you really had me in there. Like I was diving deep. I'm in there searching. I don't see nothing else about this thing. I'm looking deep. I'm so furious right now.
So when I read the article, I was looking through the article and I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. I wish I knew about this. I wish this was the case when I was building my saxophone last year, because I needed some warm gold pieces, and I had to go to the Lego, and I had to do multiple orders just to get them. So but it seems to be a growing trend in the Lego community that this is the time to do stuff. I mean, to have fun. We just want to bring some joy to the world. So Lego also came out with a April Fool's joke, which a
Hmm.
lot of people saw straight through it. The
Yeah.
year before they came out with this, I think it was a vacuum or something like that. This year they say Lego Auto, and
Uh-huh.
I saw that immediately when I saw it. I was like, yeah, that ain't right, that ain't real. But every now and again, your boy, he likes to take part of the festivities of April Fools.
Hmm.
I had posted a video, well, not a video, but I posted an image of me. I was getting my hair retwisted, and I said, you know what, let's have some fun. So I was just playing around in the system. I was like, oh wow, this looks kind of accurate. If I was to cut my hair. So I said, man, no harm, no foul. Then he posted real quick. Ain't nobody gonna look at that. It's too much stuff going on. We got this article from Brick Nerd. We got Lego putting out stuff. Ain't nobody gonna notice that. Yeah, there was a lot of people that noticed that.
Hmm.
And some people were fooled. Some
I wasn't.
people look right through it. They were like, "Yeah, you full of it." They were like, "Yeah, on post another one April 2nd. Let me see it in April 2nd." I was
Post the same picture, like, bam.
like, "Yeah,
I wasn't fool. I was calling your bluff like a phone number, son. Like, like, oh yeah, go FaceTime me right now. FaceTime me right now.
I had a lot of requests. Yeah, yeah, FaceTime me." But it got to a point, man. I'm still blessed to have my grandmother. She's still alive and everything like that.
Mhm.
She's the matriarch of the family. I don't disrespect her. I don't cross that line. And when my cousins started to say, "Hey, man, you cut your hair for real? You ain't say nothing?" I was like, "Oh man, I already know what that means, man. If it touches the island, my grandmother's gonna hear it, and she's gonna expect for my hair to be cut. If I'm sitting there running around talking about I cut my hair better be cut." So you know what, folks? Every now and again, I I just gotta let my hair down. All right, I gotta let my hair down. Have some.
What's so funny? They
That's all.
say I'm the worst one. They say I'm the worst one. It ain't me.
It was an April Fool's joke. It was an April Fool's joke, folks. The hair is still intact. The hair is still here. If I ever decide to cut it, I will make sure that I live stream that joint so you can watch me cut the locks off myself. All right. As it relates to the Brick Nerd, I see nothing wrong in what they're doing. It's fun. It's all about fun. It gives people something to talk about. And remember that survey we mentioned? Maybe that's something you want to put in that survey. Brick
Yeah,
Nerds, this make it a reality.
yeah. Nah, I'm gonna put that. I don't like being a fool. That was a detailed article, and they had me going. I mean, they had a daggone. You look at this thing. They had a daggone logo for it. Like they had a logo. Like
Yeah. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem is. People listen. April Fools.
by the
We
time.
taking off all of that stuff from the winter. We're trying to come into spring fresh with laughs. That's all we're trying to do. So I
I mean,
support Freak Nerds.
they had I guess a Lego designer here that was developing the program and stuff like that. They got a picture of him on here. I mean, this was a lot of time. This was a lot of time, man. It's like, like
They,
bringing them
they did
serious
great. They
a
did
little,
great.
little bit.
They did great. I love it. I love it. They did great. And maybe I'm saying it because for April Fools I was the one doing the fooling to a few folks. So maybe I feel kind of on the side of the ones that's also doing the fooling. And I, I'm sorry that is at your expense, brother.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
uh, but again, that survey you put in the survey, it might become a reality, man. We might be talking about it in a few months, like, yo, Lego heard this and Lego's making this a real thing, man. You never know.
Well, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. All right. All right. So I'm in my Lego room, minding my Lego business. And I get a little ding, and it's a message from Corey, right? So a lot of political, we're in a political area here. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and you'd be a fool not to acknowledge them, right?
Right.
And so, people are trying to, I guess, pick a side. Eventually in life, you got to pick a side. If it's a schoolyard fight, you got to pick what side you're gonna be on, right? Heroes and villains, right? Maybe something like that.
Right.
So you have a lot of people who, like celebrities who have platforms, are saying they're making these political moves or these political, announcements, like, okay, yeah, for instance, you know, uh, uh, Nick Cannon, who is now the new host of Lego Masters, we find, Corey is picking up on every bad decision that he makes, every bad decision, right? And so some of the stuff is personal stuff with, like, he like with women and stuff like that, and some of the stuff, he's in the news talking about, his time with Mariah Carey and that he wasn't ready for that moment, this and that, blah blah blah. But then recently he talks about how he supports, and people gonna be upset, but he gave his love for how he support Trump, and but it wasn't about that. It was about, because if you love whatever political parties you love, and that's fine. That's your choice. That's good, and we're not talking about political things, but he had Amber Rose in this car with him, folks, and I briefly show a little clip on it. But he had Amber Rose in there, and it went from being political to, hey, look, I really would like to say that word that black people use, because in Amber Rose's mind, she feel like she is black, but she's not, and so she really wants to use that. She uses that word anyway, and in fact, she used it right then and there.
Yep.
So why would you feel like you have the need or want to use that freely when you automatically do it anyway? So Nick never stopped the conversation. He laughed.
Yeah.
He got a lot of bad steam on it, but then he took the post down. But it's too late. It's already saved by the internet.
It's already saved. And you know what? That that wasn't even the thing that sealed the deal for a lot of people. Um, in that same car ride, now they're in the car and they're just riding around.
Mhm.
He's and he said, Democrats, they talked about their political stance and everything like that, and he's a
Mhm.
conservative, and so a lot of the views that the Republicans have, he also has because of his conservatism, and that's
Right.
totally fine. At the end of the day, you
Yeah.
you choose, and whichever one aligns with your beliefs, that's just.
Right.
But he said, the Democrats are the party of the KKK, and the Republicans are the ones who freed the slaves,
Yeah.
and he stopped it there. If you stop it there, on face value, historically, he is correct. He is correct. Back in those days, way back when, the Democrats were the ones who were more aligned with the KKK, and the Republicans were the ones who
Yeah.
helped set slaves free. However, over time, the parties switched. The party's allegiance has switched. So the
Yeah.
Republicans have been more aligned with those particular beliefs
Yeah.
that we once had from the Democrats.
Mhm.
Um, you don't need to take my word for it. If you go to anywhere where they have Trump flags flying, you also see Confederate flags flying the same way. When
Mhm.
you go to a Democratic event, You don't see those things. You can see it in the pub in the party setup. How
Yeah.
much diversity is on the Democratic side versus on the Republican side. So, and we're not saying that that's the case for the party. It's just what the reality is showing us, that the Republicans have become more aligned with people who are of that persuasion. And Nick Cannon didn't go further into that explanation. And because he didn't go further in it, people only saw that part and they ran with it. And when you run with it, a lot of people are starting to give backlash to Nick Cannon, talking about he's only given one side of the story, he's only
Yeah.
stopping at a certain point, and that becomes very, very political, and then it becomes controversial. And if you look at Chili from TLC, it was just brought out that she was a Trump supporter and she
Uh-huh.
donated to Trump, and she's trying to backpedal and everything like that. And we're like, yo, don't backpedal. If this is the person that you chose, if this is the person that you support, stand on your 2 feet. That's the dude you support. That's all to it. But just understand what's going to come from that. There's a lot of people who don't see him as a person who will fight for their rights or for their benefits. They don't,
Hmm.
and that's fair to say that assessment of a president. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, this is Nick Cannon's belief, and this is why we're bringing it up, because it comes to Lego Masters season 6. He is the host of Lego Masters. He is a prominent figure in Lego Masters. He's also very prominent in The Masked Singer. I don't see them getting rid of him as a host because they are in
Uh-huh.
the 15th season. I don't see them doing that. It's on Fox. Fox is usually a very conservative network, so that might not be an issue. But Lego Masters, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from Lego Masters when it comes to Nick Cannon, because he's bringing a lot of new things into his privy. And where do we go?
So we run it back a little bit. He, like you said, he told half of the story. The full story is, if you know American history, President Theodore Roosevelt. I mean, yeah, Theodore Roosevelt um, was part of the Republican Party, right? His first term was part of the Republican Party. And so he switched it up, right? He left the Republican Party and formed the Progressive Party, right? Bull or Moose Party, right? Which ended up grabbing all those Democrats who thought that, the same way as he thought, right? So he ended up switching up parties. So he changed the party structure from so that's how both sides switched, right? Same
Right.
people, but we switched, right? Um, and so that's why that's why the history gets concluded like that, because people choose to erase, and that's one of those things, people erase certain parts of the history, right? And so then you'll get half of the story, you don't get the history, and that's a breakdown of history. It's his story, right? So
Yeah.
you got his story, but you got actually what the hell happened.
Yeah.
And that's how history is. You never really find out what exactly happened. You just got somebody's story that says, "Oh no, it happened like this," and it's a
Right.
folktale, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so you see somebody like him, and I hate to say that the brother's uneducated, but do your due diligence to know it all before you speak out about it, right? Um, and if you don't speak out about it, like, because then you sound like a fool, like this dude, right?
Mhm.
As far as with Lego Masters, and I hate everything always get tied up into somebody's actions, right?
Right.
Um, I think as far as Lego Masters, what's going to happen is just like I said, what was going to happen a couple podcasts ago when we were talking about the future of Lego Masters, right?
Mhm.
Um, I think that now that Australia is running the gambit with all other shows, I think it's their first agenda to actually promote their show into other countries' networks, right? So
Right.
Lego Masters will be all Australian because it'll be too much turmoil happening with the American show, because now you got a new host who isn't, at least will on that, stayed out of the news, right?
Right.
Um, but you got this guy, he's everywhere, right? He's getting all these opportunities and he's everywhere. And here's the thing, and He said, you say he's a conservative, right? I beg to differ because he's not living a life of a conservative. You might want to be a conservative, but you're not living a life of a conservative. Conservative believe to have one family. And I don't mean to call nobody out like that, but they believe in, they believe in Jesus Christ. I don't think he does that, right? I think he's what, Hindu or something. I might be wrong, but I don't think he's claiming that. I don't think he's claiming to be a Christian.
Right.
All right. And I don't think that he done spread himself out in the world. And the conservatives believe in being married, having a wife, having a family.
Right.
That's not his belief. So we want to be certain things, and our lifestyle don't dictate that, right? Even the person that he had riding, you want to be something, but your lifestyle just don't dictate that.
Right.
And so, like, but here's what's so beautiful about America, folks, is that even though your lifestyle is one thing, you have hopes and dreams to be something else, and you can do that. You can do that, and me and Corey will sit up here and laugh because the world it's a melting pot and we're all mixed up, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay because none of us is perfect. Saying that word, oh, I'm conservative. A lot of people, oh, well, you think you're perfect. Nah. Nah. And so, like, I fear that at the height of what's happening today, because you got a political party that's making everything political. If something goes south on their watch, it's the other party's problem. Nah. Now, I believe in taking ownership for when you win, you take ownership for it. When you fail, take ownership for that. Okay, it ain't somebody else's problem. It's your problem. And so I think that with this Lego Masters I don't think it'll be the last season. I just think that it'll be so much turmoil over here that Nick Cannon will probably be booted out of being the host. And what they'll probably do is, hey, look, let me introduce you to Australia's Lego Masters, and you have these Australians, and it'll go up without a hiccup or a hitch. And maybe the Australians winning a U.S. TV award, and maybe they don't.
I'm going to give a slight pushback real quick. I want to see happen. Once we have Nick Cannon, he does get booted out, but we're going to have a rotation of different hosts. I just don't see Australia coming in and just saying, hey, here's Hamish. This is the new host of Lego Masters. I don't think that's going to bode well for the general audience. For the Lego community, yeah, we might love that, but for the audience, they don't know who he is. And I think that we're probably going to get a rotation of different hosts to be on Lego Masters.
That kills the show. That kills the show. A rotation of Ask Jeopardy. When Alex Trebek stepped away and he passed away, they had a bunch of it killed ratings. They was trying to have different hosts, and it killed the ratings, right? But here's the thing: no one knew who Chuck Woolery was until Love Connection came on. No one knew who Alex Trebek was until Jeopardy came on. No one knew who Pat St. Jack was until the Wheel of Fortune happened, right? So
we're gonna have to wait and see how everything pans out, man. But when you said Nick Cannon may not be conservative, he might be because the president has 3 baby mamas.
They want to be. They're not, but they want to be. That's what I want to be, but I'm not.
That's what they are.
But you're not. If you're conservative, you conserving your lifestyle. That's not being a conservative. It's not. In fact, it's absolutely you on the other side of the spectrum because you spreading the love, baby. You spread it like you spread the love. You spread that. Give you some love over here. I'm gonna drop some over there. I came to drop some here, but I got to go over there first.
Oh God! I just want to have the best possible season of season 6, and as of right now, in my opinion, Nick Cannon, he's fumbling the ball before we even got a chance to watch it. So I just hope that this doesn't affect those who are on the show, who worked on the show. But it gets harder when the main person is wilding out.
Wilding out. That's what he's doing. He's wilding out, man.
Oh man, listen. We have been talking about a lot of stuff in the Lego community, and a lot of the stuff is good, but a lot of the stuff is terrible.
Yeah.
So we got another terrible story for y'all. Now, this is coming to us all the way from down under Australia. All
Mm.
right. Adelaide Western Suburbs has
Mm.
been hit with something totally unassuming. These houses look normal, but the cops, the police, come raiding into one particular house. And when you see what they took out of this one house, it's going to make you flip your lid. So it looks like that this family has been, I don't know if they've been stealing Lego sets, but they got boxes upon boxes upon boxes of Lego, unopened
Yeah.
Lego sets.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, they even got a drone. That's how much boxes they have. They have drones just to show you what's on the front lawn. It is insanity. Like, all right, you've been to a Lego convention, right? You
Uh-huh.
go to vendors, you see the vendors, they got all these boxes of Lego and everything like that.
Yeah.
Imagine going to Brick Wall Chicago,
Hmm.
taking all the vendors, you coming in, you got money to spend. You say, yo, all these vendors, I'm buying all the boxes. I want all the boxes. That's what it looked like
Hmm.
in Australia. Listen, man, I know times are hard, man, but down under, times is that hard that y'all gotta go ahead and steal Lego? What is happening out here, bro?
The cost of Lego is extremely high in Australia. It is. It's a money thing. Like the currency exchanges. It's a little bit different. Um, so yeah, and so you're scrapping to make some more money or ends meet. So you do some illegal things, right? Not to say that's okay, but man, looking at this house, I mean, it almost feels like an April Fool's joke because they had all the sets like kind of like boxed all together, and maybe the thieves the owners of the home had that already laid out, and the police just started stacking things outside. Maybe I don't know, but it was neatly stacked outside in the lawn. I'm just saying. I'm just picking. I'm just saying. Um but yeah, but here's the thing, it's like, all those like those third party Lego stores we were talking about getting ransacked and getting stolen, getting ransacked, getting stolen. This may be the fruit of that labor, right? That maybe there's a lot of third party stores, Lego stores in Australia that are getting hit. And maybe like they're finding their way to this resident hit. Maybe you got something to do with something, especially if the police think you done stole all of it and you got all of it in your home. So somebody you've been dealing with kind of knocked you out. So they, but it's amazing. It's amazing what a criminal mind can achieve by sitting back and thinking of a scheme versus just putting a business together and going legit. Like, what I mean? Doing things the right way, using that same effort and just use it, just doing things the right way to build an empire versus, coming up with a quick money scheme.
I have a question though, man. Like, think about it though. Like,
Hmm.
there's been a lot of scalpers, right? They go in, they buy a whole bunch of Lego. What if
Yeah.
this was, these were just people who were just scalping? You know, you got Doug Bricks. This
Yeah.
dude is traveling all over the world
Yeah.
purchasing Lego, right?
Yeah.
What if folks did the same thing, man? What if these folks just went to different places? Oh, you going out of business?
Yeah.
Okay, let me buy up all those Lego things and let me bring it back home.
Yeah.
You got people buying whole collections of
Yeah.
people's collections, you know?
30 grand here, 100 grand there.
I mean, the fact that they're in, I mean, I guess it kind of negates that because they're behind bars and
Yeah.
they're behind the police car. So that
Yeah.
tells me maybe they have been surveilling this house for some time
Yeah.
and they wanted to get all the information because you don't raid a house unless you have the proper
Yeah.
evidence, you know for sure that
Mhm.
crimes committed from this house. But my question is, what were they trying to do? Were they selling this on BrickLink? Were they trying to hold everything until they get a good amount and then, offload it somewhere? You know,
You
is
brought up a good point, and maybe they are legit, right? But somehow, maybe I don't know, a certain percentage of all that collection was stolen. and somehow it made its way to them. And so now it looks like you got all these boxes of Lego that are possibly stolen, right? That's how an investigation kind of happens, right? Like it may be a certain percentage where something like, something stolen, you received it, but you didn't know it was stolen.
Right.
So now it looks like you stole all of this stuff. And so that eventually will come out afterwards. Will you and I hear about it? No, because charges and stuff get dropped and things get all pros and stuff like that, and they move on to something else, right? But it makes hell of a news for a Lego bus, and that. But so it brings me back to when you asked, were adults ruining Lego? And I told you yes, and you laughed.
You're right.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Apparently they are, man. Apparently they are, man.
We taking a child's pastime, and we're ruining it. Like same thing we did to football and basketball. What you start monetizing it, and you're paying people to play, and we get mad because the athletes act like animals. But guess what? Who's the main cause of that?
Who pays them?
It used to be a playground game, and now it ain't.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. I just want to know who snitched on them. I just want to know who snitched on them, man.
I bet you it was somebody. I bet you it's somebody who sold them the stolen Lego. I sold it.
Where are you, Brick Man? We need to talk to you, Brick Man. We need to know in your backyard. We
need to make good with some Australian people to get the scoop. I thought, my man Rick James was in it, man. We probably should have had Rick James on because I'm sure my man, knew something about that.
You probably know. Hey, we had Lewis here last time for a good fight.
Yeah,
man.
We got some Australian connections. We need to ask some people.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Corey, I need you to get your profile together, man, because Lego House just stole another one, and this one's a good one. This one's a little bit later than what I thought. I thought that he would automatically, bid his way in after he won the cup on Lego Masters. But you could see that he was headed towards that. And I always been a fan of Nick. Brick and Nick is who we're talking about before the Lego Masters, because his Twitch channel was blooming, right? And rest in peace to his Twitch channel. He'll never be able to do that anymore because now he is headed to the Lego House as a designer.
Yes, he is. First off, man, beyond proud.
Yes.
Beyond proud of Nick. Me and Nick, we actually know Nick way back when, season 1 during auditions. Nick was part of the season 1 auditions. Yep. He was in my group. He was in my group behind me and my brother. Me and my brother sat there. We all went out for dinner. And I remember me and him, we always kept in touch because I remember at a time he worked for Google. He was doing for Google, like reviews and stuff like that. And he said he wants to get out of that corporate world. He wants to be his own business owner. And around the time that I was starting Sam's Brego, so we bounced ideas off of each other and stuff like that. And I want to know, about the streaming and I want to do stuff like that. And he was giving me pointers and everything. And I was helping him out when it came to just kind of stepping into that entrepreneur lifestyle, and that's what he did. He became an incredibly successful Twitch streamer. He was doing all types of stuff. He did a lot of giveaways. He did a lot of marathons. He's been to a lot of Twitch conventions and stuff like that. Finally got on Lego Masters in season 3 as part of Nick and Stacy Canadian team, first Canadian team to win Lego Masters. Yes. He got married. He bought his first house. So I have been watching his life and watching him and rooting for him because I love to see when my people win. I love to see that. And he made the announcement on April Fools of all places, right? Yeah. While everybody's out here fooling people, he wasn't fooling anybody. He was telling the truth because Nick is that type of guy. He was telling the truth. He's going to be working in Denmark in June. So he's going to be in June to start as a product designer, as a Lego designer. It couldn't happen to a better person. He's been doing this for such a long time. Unfortunately, he does have to let go of the community he has built. I'm sure he's still going to communicate to them, maybe not through Twitch, but maybe through Instagram. That's what Aaron does. Aaron still communicates with people. He posts stuff on his Instagram and all.
Yeah,
So hopefully he gets to keep that part of his community because that's very important.
yeah.
Um,
To
but
keep in
yeah,
touch. Yeah.
I'm extremely happy, man, and I just want for the Lego masters around the world to know, um, we got about four of our Lego masters that's in the Lego house. Two of them are Lego Master champions. You
Mhm.
know, just we're not keeping count. We're not keeping count, Australia, but we just want y'all to know we got four. Okay, we got four. All right, we have got like maybe one or two, so y'all
Uh,
may step y'all game up. Just
ah, yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Nick has always been pleasant, and in the Lego house, you're getting a very good person, right? And I could see that fit. That fit is going to be a good fit for you. Um, and I always been a fan of Nick, like especially like he was doing things that I haven't seen. He would build on the fly right there on his channel. And that's what had me captivated. Like he had the audience, what you want me to build? They say such and such, and he whip it up real quick while he talking to you. And it's like, man, like like that's why I was always a fan of Nick. But yeah, man, I'm super excited for this brother, man. And Boom was down to his last dollars, and he made that dream work, man. And now he's living life. It ain't about the monetization, but it's about the experience, right? You go over there, and it's about the experience. It's a whole new world with so many wonderful opportunities. I wish I could work for Lego, but I like to like. I'm creative, but I'm not that creative. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm sure if I applied myself, I probably could, but I would love to work for Lego and live the dream like that, man. And man, look, we love you, Nick. Best of luck to you. We can't wait to what you bring to us.
absolutely. This entire episode, we have been talking about all the cool things that Lego has been doing, right?
Mhm.
Lego's they doing the survey to hear from the folks. You got Lego with contributing with NASA,
Mhm.
people doing stuff. You got Lego Master host talking reckless. It is what it is, right? But Lego has been showing one particular thing is that
Mhm.
they understand marketing, and they have a new marketing team, and the marketing team is clearly making it work for Lego. Nike, they got an amazing Nike deal going on right now where they're bringing out these Nike sets.
Mhm.
And last year, it was all about Formula One. Formula One was the big thing. They were at the different Formula One races. They have the Formula One cars on the track. They built a giant Formula One car on the track, right? So there is
Yeah.
a lot of things that Lego was doing with Formula One. Now that that's over, they decided to look for another brand to connect with, and that's FIFA. So now we know the World Cup is coming to the United States. So it is a big deal. Everybody is getting ready to come out here and to root for their favorite team, and Lego has been on board. They came out with the big gold trophy. We talked about it, kind of ragged on it a little bit, but we just keeping it real. They have the soccer ball built out of Lego, and if you ever seen the soccer ball in person, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very
Yes.
intricate. It's very intricate. And now we have a release of a few new sets that are coming out. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about is the marketing strategy. They have a commercial that just aired that has legendary FIFA players in a round table putting together the trophy. Number one, the trophy is prominent in the center of the commercial. Number two, the players are actually putting the pieces on. Number three, Lego is all over it. You're going to get so many people that are losing their minds, and it's all over the internet. I show Speed, one of the most popular streamer in the world, was reacting to this video, and he was losing his mind. And he has millions upon millions upon millions of viewers. How many of those viewers are going to say, I want that set? That's a Lego set. I want that set. Messi touch it. I want it. I want this right now. They're gonna
Yeah.
run to the store. They're gonna go buy that set. And now they know that a bunch of other sets are coming. Yeah. So I think that this is gonna be successful, like it was for the Formula One. FIFA, Lego knows what they're doing right now. They're ahead of the game.
Yeah, you got to think about it. For us, like, other than the real soccer fandom that are over here in the US. You got to think about this for the average sports person. You got to think about, imagine if you had your all-time baseball greats or football greats or even basketball greats at the same table.
Mm,
That's how big this commercial is. It's like you got all of the soccer greats worldwide at this
okay.
table.
Mhm.
The who's who right now at the table, right? And it's funny, like you said, that trophy is front and center, but ultimately in the end, it's the kid that takes the prize, right?
Yeah.
they,
Think
they,
about
they they get down there where they're fighting to put the pieces on their fighting, and
it. Mhm.
and and it's the kid that gets the prize at the end. And yeah, I think that the marketing team for Lego definitely went all out, and they checked that box on this commercial here.
Absolutely.
And so because it's epic, it's got me and the sets themselves. And at first we were kind of like, kind of skeptic about, the sets coming up, but now it seemed like everything's in motion where you're getting like they're full-fledged on FIFA. They're full-fledged like they did the F1. F1, they were full-fledged on F1. It even helped that they brought in the movie too. Like you got F1, got a movie, you got the Lego sets happening, you got all these events, and you got Lego and stuff like that. Um, and so
Yeah,
I think that these lifestyle sets are just helping bringing those is lifting the culture up. Whether you're a sneakerhead, your soccer head, or football head,
mhm,
Legos helping you bring you back into that interaction with the fandom.
absolutely. I mean, think about it. A lot of people who had a dark age came back into Lego because of something, whether
Hmm.
it was Star Wars, whether it was the Lego movie, and it was Lego Street Champion that brought me back. So Lego understands what they're doing. They're changing their strategy, so they're not just releasing the sets. They're connecting it with the people who made the culture what it is. So this is the right move. I look forward to seeing what more sets they're going to come out with for FIFA, for the World Cup. The Olympics is right around the corner. Who knows if they're going to have something for the Olympics or whatnot? But Lego is doing a good job. Lego, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's no other toy brand that's going to touch you guys because you're doing something that makes total sense. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People love your Lego, and then some people love to hate you, but you still have the love Lego. So,
Yeah, man. So
uh,
before we wrap it up and we get out of here, man, I always like to do something on these episodes, and this is something I like to call "What have you built lately?" What have you
yes.
built lately? So, I have been working on doing this new type of, or not new, but a part of my display called Black Cinema. And
Okay.
basically, what Black Cinema is showcasing some of the characters from Black culture, from cartoons, from movies, and television. So I'm currently working on one particular character. He's not finished, but I do
Okay.
want to show. I do want to show a little bit of what it is, right?
Hmm.
So this particular character, he's a menace, right? He's an absolute menace. You
Uh-huh.
know, thanks to you'll have something that's in one piece and then it'll break, right? And then he'll
Uh-huh.
he'll break it and then he'll have a catchphrase. Did I do that?
No way. I
So
see. You know,
this,
in my day when I was young, I got called him a lot. Like because for whatever reason they said that me and him looked alike, and I didn't see the difference. Like I didn't. But like, when I was in school, people called me Urkel. Man, they did that. I was ready to fight somebody because I didn't look like that guy.
yeah. You know what? I was the total opposite, man. I saw it as a badge of honor. You call me Urkel, man. I was happy, man, because that he was my hero when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
was man. I didn't have a shape up. I had big glasses. My teeth were crooked. I was a nerd growing up. I looked like a nerd. And when I saw him, he was like, "Yo," he embraced being a nerd. And then he turned to Stefan Arkell, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I could grow up to be a Stefan Arkell." Like he gave me hope. He had Myra chasing him, and he was always chasing after Laura, and then Laura finally started loving him, and then he went to space, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is living the life." I love
Right.
Steve. So, So right now, what I'm waiting for, I am waiting for some glasses. So I'm building these glasses I'm gonna put on him. I
Okay.
already have his legs. His legs are downstairs. I'm waiting for some suspenders that I'm gonna add on him. So
Okay.
this is gonna be the next. I'm gonna have this at my next convention, which will be in Orlando,
Okay.
coming up and or beginning of next month actually. So if you're gonna be in the Orlando area
Hmm.
for big fan events, check me out. I'm gonna have Steve Urkel there doing all types of craziness.
Hey man, can I get a free ticket to Orlando, man? I like to go, man. Like I can't get a free ticket.
I don't know if you noticed, but gas prices here in Jersey is about to hit $6, $5, $6. So the price of an airfare ticket is.
What I gotta do it? What gotta do it? I can get the flight, man. I want to
I can
go.
get if you can catch the flight and get to Orlando, I can get you in for free. That's no problem. I can get, I can't get you to Orlando though. I can't help you with. I can get you in the building for free. I can't get you to Orlando. So besides, I still owe you from Atlanta. So if you come through, I'll make sure I have your goodie bag from Atlanta and from
There you go.
Orlando.
I gotta come clean, right? I gotta come clean, right? So look, you know, Chip asked me. He said, "Hey," he said, I got your gift here." He was like, "Cool." I was like, "Cool, yeah." He said, "Hey, you want to take one for Corey?" I said, "If you're not here, you don't get one." He was like, I'm gonna tell him that. I said, "I'm gonna tell him first."
Yeah, you taking pleasure in not. You just do too much. I totally forgot. Dad, you said they're taking pleasure. You said petty, man, petty.
Pain, like pain.
Real pain. It's all man. Chip, if you're watching, it's all good, man. I
He got
want to
he'll
be
get
there
you one.
to receive it for myself. So
Yeah,
it's
he'll
totally
get you
fine.
one. We'll get Chip to send you one. He'll send you one. Yes, sir.
I want to be I want to be there to support. So it's okay. You go ahead and you enjoy that, man. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you build it. Hope you have all your pieces in there. I hope the instructions are eligible for you to look
Yeah.
at. Yeah, I'm good stuff for you, man. It's listen. You see my shirt, man? Got a heart around the world, man. That's what it's all about, man. It's about love. It's about love. That's all it's about, man.
Cut, cut,
Cut the act. Cut the act.
cut.
Yeah, man. But you know what? We're not gonna cut. We're not gonna cut the fact that we did this show, and one thing we always try to do, and this
Uh-huh.
is not that. This is not an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
We always do better. Right?
Yeah.
We always do better. Sometimes we say things that are just out of pocket, and we know that we're from Jersey. We tend to do that, but we always try to do better next time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to do better next time. What you say?
Yeah, we're gonna do better next time. And shout out to the channel here, Iceberg Bricks, YouTube and Instagram. We're approaching this month marks our ninth anniversary.
Oh wow!
Um, I feel like I need to I don't know, do something for it. Like maybe do a giveaway. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we have to host a giveaway. Maybe once a week. This is the first week, right? So maybe we do two giveaways next weekend to catch up, and then we'll just do a live, maybe do a live, giveaway, something like that, right? We do something. I try to work it out. But yeah, 9 years, streaming, live streaming and posting on Instagram and YouTube.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's been a ride, man. It's been a ride.
That's good, man. That's good, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Just want
yeah,
you to know, man, if you're gonna do those giveaways, remember today's April 5th. Therefore,
yeah.
it's no April Fool's joke. So that means you got to
No,
deliver.
it's real. It's real. It's real. It's always real. It's real. My thing is the last time I tried to do a giveaway, I had like some Russians and some crazy people from the other side of the globe trying to scam me, and I ain't got time for that, man. I messed around and gave it to somebody. It was like a UCS X-wing, man. I was getting all kinds of crazy bots, and I ain't trying to go through all that, friend. Like I ain't trying to be scammed. So doing giveaways is a lot harder than what you think because you're trying to verify a real person.
Listen, man. Listen. Last time, if you find out this person is fake, you know what to do. Send them the box with a bunch of pasta inside.
Yeah, with some pasta. Hey, go ahead and shout out the Brick Fan event.
Yo, Brick Fan event is going to be happening May 2nd and 3rd. May 2nd and 3rd. That's the first weekend in May. Friday, we usually do a little something on Fridays and stuff like that. But come on out, get your tickets. Your tickets it's not sold out yet, so go ahead and get your tickets. We're going to be in Orlando, sunny Orlando. It's going to be a fun time. You're going to see me. You're going to see a bunch of other Lego masters. It's going to be a great time. Come on, come on. And you might see this guy over here.
Yeah. Make sure I get my ticket, friend. I'll come.
I got you. Then, good night, America.
Good night, America. You're still number one in my book.
Australia do better.
And robbing people.